Hey everybody, it's Nick Schreck from Let's Talk Fantasy Football. I wanted to talk to you guys about someone who's a polarizing figure right now in the NFL, Tom Brady. Obviously, we've all heard by now what's going on in the world with Deflategate, his suspension. They hand down a 4-game suspension for what he allegedly did or did not do. And pretty much we're here to look at the fantasy impact and kind of talk you guys through a few things, or at least what I think right now. So, guys, odds of him getting that reduced on appeal, I got to think zero. Roger Goodell is judge, jury, commissioner, same thing, really. So if he's presiding over the judgment that he just handed down, or his cabinet handed down, so to say, can't see him overturning that suspension, one. Two, they want him to preside over a hearing where he will be called as a witness. I don't understand how that works. I know it's not technically in the legal system, so it's under Goodell's rule, but it seems crazy. So don't think that suspension is going anywhere. That means Brady misses 5 weeks, comes back for week 6 against the Colts. But really, in those first 5 weeks, the question is, can you afford to draft Brady and then fight your way or stream your way through, or draft another QB to get yourself through those first 5 weeks? I think you can, and I think at the rate Brady is falling right now, it's definitely worth snagging Brady late, sitting on him, and seeing the value he can bring you guys really for the second half, or the second, early the 3 quarters left that you'll have of the fantasy season. In my fantasy leagues right now, guys, he's dropped from QB8 to QB12. That's outside of starters range for standard 10-team leagues. For 12-team leagues, he's almost outside of that. On the trend, he's probably going to fall further, especially if this suspension isn't overturned. It means he's going to become a value. I believe Brady will be worth it at that point to sit and hold on to. The guy is a stud and was on fire last year, down the stretch, minus his abysmal start, which I kind of wrote him off for last year. Guys, replacements. I'm not sure of who you should be drafting if you're trying to fit someone into that schedule for weeks 1 through 5 without streaming. But I think streaming is a great option. I'm not as great at streaming as our fellow guy here, Nick Walsh, but I'll tell you this. You can't afford to go with a Cam Newton, a Marcus Mariota, if you believe, a Teddy Bridgewater, or even Ryan Tannehill. Problem is, guys, they have bye weeks as well in weeks 1 through 5. That means you're going to end up with 3 QBs at some point there in weeks 1 through 5 or 1 through 6. I'm not sure off the top of my head. Guys, you can't afford to do it. So as much as I love Teddy Bridgewater, if you're going to play the Tom Brady game, you probably have to look elsewhere. Where I'm going to say it may sound crazy, but Sam Bradford could be a great streaming option. It's going to require more research, and we'll see how he develops through the season, guys. But right now, according to Vegas, the Eagles' week 1 game, they have the highest over-under at 53.5. So they're going to be expecting a lot of points, throwing the ball a ton. The Eagles run a ton more plays than everybody, as we really know. And then in week 2, they're playing against. They don't have DeMarco Murray to run out the clock. Dallas is good, but the Eagles, they just tend to move really fast. So I think Bradford could be a nice fit for weeks 1 and 2, and then you have to look to stream the rest of the way. But if you can survive those first few weeks and have a good replacement, even if you still wait and draft a Brady and somebody else, there's a lot of talent that's going to be late in the drafts, guys, for QBs. I think you're going to be doing really well down the stretch because you'll have Brady, and you'll also be able to take a running back or receiver a little bit earlier where Brady's value originally was. So, guys, I think if Brady continues to fall, as we're looking at a value here for 2015, you just have to be willing to play the game. Some people won't want to take that risk and take the chance. That's fine. But for those of you that do and want to play the game like that, you could really reap the rewards. So, guys, we'll see what happens. We'll see if Goodell eventually hands off control of this appeal, or if he just rules that his original ruling was correct and Tom Brady takes him to court. But for now, guys, as he continues to fall down mock drafts and rankings, the value is going to be there. So look for him, guys, here for in 2015.